Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's dedicated towards creating narcissistic abuse awareness and more so from a biblical standpoint. And I'll be discussing other general life issues. I've been talking about ways narcissistic abuse manifests itself. Remember, narcissistic abuse is domestic violence. Narcissistic abuse is literally about power and control. When in an abusive situation, it will always be diabolical. It will always have moments of what appears like love, peace, tranquility. But because of their diabolical nature, you'll always be looking forward to, when is this person going to go off? Not that, oh, you're not thinking positive. It's not that you're expecting negative or you're not thinking positive. It's just that your body knows the nature of this relationship, and so it is just giving you a heads up. But usually the mind gets involved and you're rationalizing it. You're coming up with different reasons as to why this person behaves that way, and thinking that best as being Christian, that's what we're always told to do. Think positive of someone. Don't love everyone. Love your neighbors. Love your enemies. Do not think bad about them. We are taught all the niceties. However, we are never taught boundaries. Any situation involving a narcissistic relationship, it must be diabolical. Instead of them curating their relationship, they are always going to look for ways such as blame shifting, denial, just to lay blame of themselves. I mean, these people are spot clean. They are perfect due to that switch in their childhood where the encased empathy discarded it and it can never be retrieved. So now you're just looking at someone who got themselves this omnipotent and perfect understanding of who they are. Sexual abuse, it is abuse that is literally meant to make the victim or the survivor know they are nothing. It's not sex as you may think. Rather, it is all about power and control. I dominate you. I own you. There's nothing you can do. You need to know your place. I'm going to run through different ways sexual abuse will manifest itself. Most people just think it is the act of it, but it's beyond the act. 1, incest. This usually starts off as emotional incest. Emotional incest or enmeshment is where the parent, the narcissistic parent, starts sharing what would be an adult conversation or the give and take in a relationship between adults. They transfer it onto the children. This is where the parent may start talking about how, oh, your mother doesn't satisfy me sexually, or you find the woman describing sexual acts. They get into the intricate details of the sexual nature of what they were doing. 2, I'll piggyback of emotional incest. This emotional incest, initially it was believed just to end at that, but over time the psychologists and therapists discover that many of these narcissists now extend themselves towards these children of theirs. So they start talking about body organs, touching the children, making the children touch their private parts, involving children in sexual acts at this point, groping them. In the end, they literally have sex with them. So this is why you find this manifestation of it occurs in narcissistic situations. 3, watching X-rated movies, maybe magazines. You're not interested in watching such things, but your partner forces you to. Like, you don't do it, and there's this passive-aggressive nature whereby if you don't do it, like, you know it is coming. If you don't do it, I'm going to do the worst to you. Like, sit and watch it. Within you, you know that if I disobey this person here, I'm going to be killed, I'm going to be beaten or something of that nature. So you sit and start watching pornography. Or you may also find in this very situation whereby your parent is forcing you to watch X-rated movies. This is a process of grooming. It is not innocent. They are teaching you what they want you to do to them eventually, or what they are going to do to you eventually. So they are preparing your mind, and they bring it in a very subtle way. They make you assume it is normal and it is okay. 4, rape. Rape is about control. There's no intimacy at all. It is all about letting you know I control you. I want you to know you're nothing to me. I control you. I'll take you anytime I want. That's it. There's nothing intimate about it. And many times abusers, you'll find that if you've had a quarrel with them, they transfer that adrenaline into sex. It's translated into sex, and that is where they become monsters. You see a monster that you had never imagined, you never thought existed, but they are there. You don't want, they just, rape you. They grab you and rape you. And also, the other thing about, there's a misconception about rape in marriage. They think just because you're married, you must have sex. You must give your partner, you must offer your partner sex at whatever time he or she wants. No, that's not the case. Rape is where you are forced to have sex when you don't want to have sex, whether you're married or not. That is rape. 5, a way of controlling one emotionally also. They'll start having sex, midway they stop, and they're like, I remember you jeered at me. I remember you didn't pick my call. I remember you did this. They'll pick a very flimsy reason as to why they are not going to have sex with you anymore. As you people all said, you're in the act, they just withdrew. The man is like, I'm done. Or the woman walks off, like, get off me, just get off me. Oh, I'm done, I don't want to have this anymore. And you find that you are aroused this side, you're confused at the fact that they have brought up such an issue, you're trying to reconcile everything. You may even realize that it never occurred, but they're just picking a fight. It leaves you feeling unwanted, it leaves you feeling like having a sense of inadequacy, like you are nothing, you're not valued. Like, how come he brings this up at this moment? Eventually you experience sexual neglect, and as time goes on, your mind is like, will it occur now? Is it will he continue? Will she allow me to continue to have sex with her until the end, or she'll suddenly withdraw? This is how someone eventually withdraws from the entire sexual encounter, and you feel beat up. Sometimes you feel you need to step out and do more, do something better to uplift the entire mood, but it's not about it, it's about the abuser. 6, this is where you'll find also where you're forced to commit sexual acts that you do not want to. Maybe they're engaging in bestiality, they're engaging in a threesome, BDSM, sodomy. Maybe they are recording, they want a recording of it such that you people can have a porn, like a porn session in a way. Anything that you're not comfortable doing, that is sexual abuse. 7, sending your nude photos in the public. What was done in private, what you thought at that time a safe space, ceases to be. These people here, because they want to control you, they, like, during the entire time they're actually threatening you. If you don't do this, I'll send it out. And when you try to break away, really, or when you break away, they send them to the public just to shame you, to control you that way. And it takes an emotional toll, but you get the right people around you, there's a great support group, you will find your way out of it. 8, this is also another situation, especially online, where you'll find that older men, you're finding someone is 20, 30, 40, they are online pretending to maybe be 15 years or 16, and they're telling these little girls who are maybe 12, 13, please send me your photo. Send me your photo. You look so beautiful. And in this world where you're finding both parents are working, there's never time for your children. They are getting the emotional support they need that has been neglected in the house from these men or even women. It's not gender specific, like I have always said. So you find that eventually these children, they send their photos, and when they want to stop, these people are like, if you stop, I'm going to send your photos to your friends and tell them how you're a slut, you're a whore, you're every name in their book. Them being young, they cannot even conceptualize what would happen other than my world has ended. So you find that they're caught up in this web of doing what these abusers are telling them to do. In the end, many of them, you find that have been now trafficked into the porn industry, prostitution, to pimping them out to whichever customer is having the highest cash. They are publishing underage videos. Many of these raids have been carried out online. If you actually follow the news out there, you'll find that many of these well-to-do supposed upstanding people in society, the shock of finding out that they have been involved in child porn, I mean, leaves you flustered. 10, you find sex trafficking of children and even adults. 11, making you a sex slave. In this day and age, one may think it's impossible, but it's happening even to the most unexpected people. A person gets you, especially the men, outside, they have this upstanding character about them. Everyone in society upholds them, to the highest standard. They are philanthropists. I mean, they are the best of the best in the community, the example to live by. But behind closed doors, these people are monsters. You may find they have kidnapped a child, they have kidnapped an adult, and they have literally made them a sex slave in the house. They are held in bondage just to satisfy the selfish interests of this person. This is why the victim has got to ask for permission to go and bathe, to brush, to eat. They beg for food. They ask for permission to go and pee. I mean, it is horrendous when you hear some of these things people go through. 12, this happens also in relationships, big time. You find your partner, especially them, in this case the man, they will insist you people will agree you get pregnant. After you have conceived, the man tells you abort. And you're like, hell no. Sometimes you'll find the stress of it actually brings about that abortion. But that is sexual abuse also. It takes a psychological, emotional, spiritual. I mean, it takes a toll on you at every level. 13, an adult exposing themselves to children or even to fellow adults. You're not intimate in any way, and the person does this. I remember there was a story I was reading of an Uber driver who would expose himself to people, but no one had really ever captured it. I think a 16 or 17-year-old girl who was in an Uber, and the man starts exposing himself, telling her how, she could get some and all that. She gets her phone. She sends a message to her parents and tells them what this guy is doing. She's like, I'm going to record him. She starts recording him. Unbeknownst to the Uber man, police had already been informed and were trailing him, just watching in case anything happens in the car. When she reached her destination, the Uber guy was arrested, and she presented that video. That saved the day, and it took a pedophile off the street. 14, watching underage children change. You find a man peeping through the window watching you change, or children are changing and this adult is in the room watching them intensely, like, what's up? Leave the kids alone, get out. Some privacy is needed. What are you doing watching in an 8, 9, 10-year-old change? Get out. You'll also find cases of sexting. They are having a sexual conversation, and unfortunately you're finding it with underage children. Masturbating in front of children or any adult in public. You may term it as indecent exposure. However, that is also sexual abuse, where you're exposing yourself to people. Refusing to have sex with you, especially if you're married, but they'll go and have sex with other people. Still tied to that, they'll threaten to have sex elsewhere if you don't give it to them. Under that BDSM, you'll find that some people get a sexual high by beating you up. I know it is like, what are you talking about? For them, how they get aroused, the way they release the dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all that is for them. For them, it's got by seeing you in pain. It has an element of sadism. Physical contact cannot do it. I'm not permitted to talk to the opposite sex because you are being flirtatious with them. Whether it's true or not, that is also sexual abuse. When your partner is involved in pornography, some of the effects of pornography are masturbation, porn-induced erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation. So you find that you as the other partner, you are never satisfied because for them it's all about me, myself, and I. So they objectify you. When they're having sex with you, it is not about it's mutual, we need to enjoy it together. No, it's all about me, myself, and I. So you find that you're caught up in this web of never being sexually satisfied. That is sexual abuse. You've discussed it, they know it, but they are not putting any effort into changing their behavior. Rather, they'll even apologize. They keep apologizing, but never changing. Remember, apologies without change, that is manipulation. In other words, they don't care about you. They enjoy the benefits of having you in that state while they also enjoying their porn on the side. Always eating their cake and having it at the same time. That is the narcissist's world. They want it both ways. They are not going to have an either or moment. The last but not the least, this is why you'll find that they force you to have sex with other people. They may even film it. You don't like it, but because you're so into the relationship, you want to salvage it at whatever cost. They bring in a third party, male or female, and you comply. The whole process is so emotionally draining. By the time someone is talking of getting out, one of the reasons you find that abusers use to hold their victims back. If you go, I'm going to tell people you did ABCD. Always remember, abuse escalates. It may start with a word, it may go with a slap, it be like, please, if you don't do it, it means you don't love me. They coerce you into doing certain things that you didn't like. Eventually, you feel beat up. Abuse of any nature is demonic. Seek help from a certified therapist who understands abuse. People here have a tendency of grooming you into what they want you to become. It's done in a very subtle way. Watch the love bombing video, which we call the love bombing. They give you something positive, then they withdraw it. They give you a drop of love, then they give you an ocean of fear and hate. So you keep expecting it. You keep expecting it. Now you'll find that people, if you go to a therapist who doesn't understand this, they'll tell you be patient with your partner. The thing is that abuse escalates. Abuse never steps back. Abusers will always escalate their abuse. The more you stay, the more trauma bonded you become to them. The good and bad times create a dopamine release, cortisol and adrenaline. So you're constantly expecting something good out of it. You're going to work hard to attain that goodness that you feel you lost along the way. But unbeknownst to you, it is a game these people are playing. And in other aspects, you find the religious situation where they tell you God hates divorce and your body is for your husband and your husband's body is yours, so you shouldn't deny each other. The thing is that abusers are lawless people. You as a godly person, you are going to carry out godly expectations, but abusers enjoy the benefits of godliness, but they do not want to carry them out. Their nature dictates that they must be lawless. So abuse strips you of your identity. Abuse shames you. Abuse is out to get you. Abuse is all about control. God is about training. You're trained into something. That training doesn't give off control. There's a mutuality in everything that you're doing. Unfortunately, in abusive situations, that's lacking. Remember, abuse is not about you. Abuse is about the abuser. You didn't create it, you didn't cause it, and you can't cure it. Don't try to fix a hole that is not there, because they were trained that way. Wrapping this up, all these ways the abusers are using of the grooming, coercion, the manipulation, the sextortion, intimidation, and hostile behavior, blackmail. I encourage you, step away from it. Mistakes have been made, learn from them, because they'll keep holding that over your head. They'll dangle that carrot until you crack. So seek help. If it means involving the authorities, do so. Release yourself from that bondage. Marriage is mutual. It's a give and take. You do not force your partner. You do not demand. When there is that mutuality, there is understanding, and understanding lacks abuse. Understanding, you're seeing compromise, you're seeing maturity, really. Marriage is not for the immature, and people who engage in abuse are immature because they are developmentally arrested. It is all about me, myself, and I. So at whatever given moment, they are going to take it. It's literally like this 3-year-old demanding for something. So much as they appear adults, the inner person who is controlling the entire situation is 3 years old. If they're developmentally arrested at 5, you find him actually engaging with a 5-year-old in an adult's body. Remember, you know the cause for the abuse happening, and do not be lied to. Maybe there's something you did know. There's nothing that you did or couldn't have done to salvage the situation. It is all about the abuser. Do not personalize it. Thank you so much for watching. Blessings.